So the other day, my brother called me because his carburetor was leaking. And I thought, what an easy job. All I gotta do is loosen it up, put some sealant back on it, and tighten it up. But that wasn't the case. As I was trying to take off this carburetor, I ended up breaking the little trap arm that goes into it. Not only that, for some reason, the little trap arm was stuck in the kitchen trap adapter. So, from an easy job, I had to replace everything because I didn't want to redo this back in System 15, because if I did, it would have been mighty expensive. So, I went to go pick up some fittings and I redid this sink back in ABS. Now, if you're wondering if the glue is the correct glue, that's the glue they gave me, and honestly, it's gonna work. There's no pressure behind this. Don't be silly. And with every sink install, I always like to replace the strainers because every time I replace just one strainer, the other one always decides that it wants to leak. Now, I also understand a couple of you from the comments before were saying, why would I put tape on those threads? It's because every time I don't put tape on those threads, I end up finding a leak as well. I don't know which products you're using, but I know the ones that I use and that are available to me do leak. So for that reason, I'm gonna tape it. As you're watching this video and watching me glue these fittings, make sure if you ever use a bushing that you try to scratch off as much of the sticker as you can, because if that sticker gets stuck there, you're not going to get a good steel joint, and it may leak because it has happened to people I know that have kept their sticker there. Now, continuing with this install, I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I do my installs, I like to face all my wording in the front or at the back, but most of the times in the front because a lot of the work that I used to do required inspections, and when the inspector comes in, they want to make sure that the pipe was properly marked with the markings that were needed for the install. Now, if you got this far into the video, you're probably wondering, where the hell is my tape measure? Well, honestly, I haven't been on the field for a while, and I'm not driving my van. The worst part when you don't drive your van is that you don't know where any of your tools are. And for that reason, all I did was did everything by eye and did everything by hub to hub measurements, which worked out pretty well because, I don't know, I've been plumbing for the last 2 decades, I could say. Which isn't really important, but what is important here is that there's a lot of people saying in the comments when I didn't do a voiceover that this place is going to smell because they don't see a P-trap. Well, if you didn't know, there is a vent called an island vent, and that is why you require 2 cleanouts in this instance, and that's why you also don't see a P-trap, because the P-trap is actually just under the floor, and it's vented under the floor, probably nominally 45 degrees to the side, and then probably rolled into a wall somewhere that goes all the way back up to a roof. And that is why you will not see a P-trap in this install. Last but not least, to finish our install, I always test both sinks with maximum head pressure. And if I feel lazy, I'm only gonna fill out halfway, which I did here. But it doesn't leak and works for my house.